Hey everybody, this is Rykard here again, back with another black and white Pokemon analysis. Today, we're going to be discussing the Ironheart Pokemon known as Cobalon. So let's get started by taking a look at its typing, abilities, and stats. So first off, Cobalon sports the Steel Fighting type, similar to Lucario, which you all probably know fairly well by now. But this is actually really great typing and allows you to resist a lot of different things, such as normal type moves, grass, ice, immunity to poison, 4 times resistances to bug, rock, and dark, and also resistance to ghost, dragon, and steel. So that's quite a bit of different things. On the other hand, though, you are weak to fire, fighting, and ground, so those are the things you need to be watching out for. As for its ability, though, it is known as Heart of Justice, which is a really cool ability, and a lot of people misinterpret it to mean something else than it actually does. But basically, when you are hit by a dark type attack, your physical attack increases by 1 stage. However, like most people think, it does not give you an immunity to dark type moves. It just makes them hit you for damage, but then your attack increases. But as I said before, since Cobalon 4 times resists dark, that's an amazing thing to have since you don't even have to worry about a dark move doing damage to you. But it's a pretty cool ability and definitely can be a way to allow Cobalon to boost its stats just by switching in on an opponent that you know is going to throw out a dark move. As for its stats, though, it gets 91 HP coupled with 129 physical defense and 72 special defense, meaning that this Pokemon can be very bulky if you give it the chance to be. Unlike Lucario, and I'm just going to compare it to this for the sake of the typing and things like that, this Pokemon can actually make great use of the resistances and stuff that comes with the typing, unlike Lucario, because of how bad Lucario's defenses are. But luckily, Cobalon is actually fortunate enough to get great defenses with this great typing, so it's very capable of being a wall on either the physical or special side, even though its special defense isn't nearly as good as its physical. As for its attacking stats, though, it has 90 physical and 90 special attack, meaning that no matter which way you go, physical or special, you're definitely going to be able to do a ton of damage to whatever opponent wants to switch in or wants to take a move from you. This also allows Cobalon to fairly easily go mixed, so that's also a really cool thing. I didn't put a mixed set in this video, but I'm sure there are plenty of other people that could figure one out easier than I could. But for its last stat, its speed, it is at a really good 108, which I think means you tie with Infernape, which is kind of unfortunate because it has moves that can take you out or that are also get stab, fighting, and fire, so that's unfortunate. But other than that, you know that you're going to be really fast with that kind of speed, so this Pokemon definitely is a jack of all trades, so to speak, because it can be defensive and powerful at the same time. But with that, let's take a look at a couple of sets that Cobalon can make use of. So for this first set, we're going to give Cobalon a Jolly Nature to increase its speed but lower its special attack. And then we're going to be using the ability Heart of Justice, as always, because it is the only ability this Pokemon gets. But since this will be a physical set, Heart of Justice can definitely be put to use because of the fact that it will be increasing our physical attack that we're going to be making use of while using the set. But as for the EVs, we're going to put 4 into HP to give you 1 more point to that, 252 into physical attack to give you max physical attack with a Jolly Nature, and then 252 into speed to give you your highest speed possible. As for the item, though, this time we're going to be using a Life Orb, which I normally, say that I don't like because of the fact that it lowers your defense, your HP, but since this Pokemon has such great resistances, I don't really care about HP because we'll be resisting a ton of crap. So Life Orb definitely works out well and it will allow you to do more damage. But as for the moves, first we're going to be using Swords Dance as a way to boost our physical attack by 2 stages every time we use it, so that's a definite plus in this set because obviously you can be immensely powerful after a Swords Dance. And then with that, we'll be using the moves Close Combat, X-Scissor, and Stone Edge to give you some good type coverage and a lot of powerful moves to work with. The reason why we're using Close Combat, though, over, I guess, this type of Pokemon's signature move, even though all the Pokemon that are like this one get it, it's known as Sacred Sword, by the way, and what it does is it, I guess, bypasses defense boosts and things like that, and just hits for regular damage no matter what. So it's a really cool move to use. But since we're going to be really fast and trying to be really powerful, I decided that close combat was the better choice between the two. But it's really up to you to decide. I just put it for this set. Um, but X Scissor and Stone Edge definitely help to work well with close combat. You could also go with Iron Head, I guess, to get stab, or Poison Jab as another possible move to use, but these three seem like the best to work in combination with one another. As for this set, it's pretty much just the special version of the previous one. So this time we're going to give Cobalon Intimidator to increase its speed but lower its physical attack. We're going to be using the ability Heart of Justice again, and for the EVs, this time we're putting 252 EVs into special attack instead of physical attack like in the previous set, and then the rest of them remain the same along with the item, which is a life orb. As for the moves though, this time we're going to be first making use of Flash Cannon as your special steel type move that you can make use of. That'll get stab and it'll be able to do damage to most things. Next though we have Focus Blast as your special fighting type move that gets stab as well, even though it does have low accuracy, which is unfortunate. But when you do hit with it, you got a life orb and stab and hopefully super effectiveness going behind it, so definitely it is a good move to use on the set. As for the next move, we're going to be using Hidden Power Ice, because that seems like the best hidden power ever. Another one that could work well also would be Fire, but I just put Ice here because of the fact that there are so many dragons running around in this generation right now, and it's kind of ridiculous. So HP Ice will be a good check to some of those if you can switch it on one, and because you have some, obviously because you resist dragon type moves and things like that, this Pokemon could be a pretty good counter to a lot of the dragon types that are being used. But as for the last move, we're going to be using Volt Change as a way to scout and also deal electric damage if we need to. But it's a great move to use for this set since obviously Volt Change is a special U-turn and of the electric type. And that's kind of the advantage that you get with this set as opposed to the first one where you get a stat boosting move. So it's kind of which one you want to use depending on the situation. This Pokemon does learn Cheer Up to also increase your special attack if you want to substitute that for Volt Change, and also Combined. But for the Combined, I'm actually going to be showing you a different use for that in this next set right now. So this last set is probably my favorite of the three because if you guys haven't been able to tell by all of my previous videos, I generally prefer bulky Pokemon over fast and powerful ones. But this time we're going to be giving Cobalon a Bold Nature to increase its physical defense and lower its physical attack. And then we're going to be using the ability Heart of Justice again. And for the EVs, this time we're going to put 252 into HP to give you max HP, 252 into physical defense to give you max physical defense, and then 4 EVs into special attack just to give you one more point into that. And the item this time is going to be Leftovers instead of Life Orb to allow us to recover a little bit of HP at the end of every turn. As for the moves though, the first one we're going to be making use of is Combined as a way to not only boost our special defense but also our special attack. And since we are running max physical defense, using a move that will be boosting your special defense is always a great option to give you some very well-rounded defenses in both the special and physical area. And since this Pokemon has naturally high special attack, Combined will only boost that even further to allow you to do more damage with special attacking moves. As for the next move though, it's known as Metal Burst, which is probably one of the most awesome moves in this game. And what it does is it essentially works as the better version of Counter and Mirror Coat because it doesn't matter what type of attack you're hit by, and it's not immune. Sorry, nothing is immune to Steel types like Ghost types are immune to Counter and Dark types are immune to Mirror Coat. So Metal Burst is just a great way to deal damage back at your opponent equal to, I think, double what they did to you. And since you're so bulky anyways, chances are they won't be able to do a hell of a lot of damage. So you'll be able to use Metal Burst probably multiple times against your opponent and make them second guess really attacking you because of the fact that they'll just be taking back more, or they'll be receiving more damage than they're giving off. But as for the next move, we're going to be using Flash Cannon as your only special attacking move. And it does get stabbed, so that's great. And it will be boosted by the combines, so that's also a great thing too. It doesn't actually or have like the best coverage in the world since steel types are resisted by I think four things and only super effective against ice and fighting. So it's really not like the best attacking move in the game, but really the purpose of the set is to just be a wall of the physical and potentially special variety if you can get enough combines. And then lastly, we're either going to be using Toxic or Roar, depending on which one you really need more on your team. Toxic is great because it'll allow this Pokemon to pretty much stall out a lot of things by just being in battle, taking a lot of hits from your opponent, and allowing them to just slowly lose their HP because of the poison. But Roar could be another great move to use because of the fact that this Pokemon is going to be very bulky. So anything that's trying to set up to try to take you out, or something that has already set up to try and take you out, can easily be disposed of and put back into the party by use of Roar. And since obviously you're a beastly physical defensive wall without any boosts, it's a great, or Cobalon is a great switch in on physical attackers. But that is pretty much it for this Pokemon. As you can see, it's a really cool new guy, and I don't even know like what kind of animal this is, so if someone could tell me, that'd be fantastic. But I really like the design, and it looks really awesome, and I definitely want to try it out when I get black and white. But that's it, so take care guys, and goodbye.